nascent bamboo shoots. Okay. Well, that's what we're getting. Apparently they want me to be running with that goddamn boar as well.
Bamboo shoot,
Jesus.
bamboo shoot, nascent bamboo shoot. Oh, this one's only just sprouted, and it looks super fresh.
Give it.
Paimon thinks this is the one.
I got him, don't I? Apparently not. This
These
one.
should be enough. Let's head back.
Help! Help!
Did you hear that? Someone's calling for help. It's coming from over there.
Why can't I see him in the river? Yo, yo, yo! I'm over here.
Are you okay? Did any water go down the wrong pipe?
No, it went down the right one. There's hair everywhere.
I think I'm okay now. Thank you so much.
That was scary. Well, at least you're all right. All thanks to your savior here. Oh, a little girl?
Greetings, everyone.
Respect Yao
My
Yao.
name is Yao Yao. It's a pleasure to make your
Girl demands
acquaintance.
respect.
Whoa, she's so well-mannered. My name's Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Yeah, perhaps you can learn something, Paimon. Greetings.
I'm Dvorak, a musician from Fontaine. I came through Stone Gate intending to head towards Liyue Harbor, but then I became captivated by the beautiful scenery, and before long, I was completely lost.
And perhaps some swimming lessons next time? You know, so you don't end up drowning again. Nearly drowning anyway.
Just now, I was so mesmerized by the waterfall that I slipped and fell into the water. If it weren't for Miss Yao Yao's help, I shudder to think what might have happened.
So he just looked
It's
at
all
it?
right, Mr. Dvorak. The splashing around the bottom of the waterfall means the stone path is always wet and slippy. You definitely have to be careful.
Imagine if we
Next
can walk
time
there
you're
like the player
exploring
and
an
just slip out of
unfamiliar
nowhere.
environment, try to focus on what's right in front of you. Don't let your mind wander. As long as you watch your step, accidents like this won't happen anymore.
I think it's
Yes,
fair.
ma'am. I understand. I'll remember to be more careful next time.
Of course they're all hungry. Why does everybody
Oh,
in this
are you
goddamn
hungry,
world
sir?
work on their stomachs?
Oh,
No, he's fine.
I'll be fine.
Please, sir, it's quite all right. I was born and raised here in Liyue. It's only natural for me to extend my hospitality to any guests who are passing through.
So they only do this
I
in Liyue.
expect you still have quite a long journey
If
ahead
you
of
need
you.
help in any other
It's
language,
very
you're all
important
arrows.
to keep your energy
Language.
levels up.
Any other
I
language.
still have some lotus flower crisps left in my backpack. Why don't we split them between the four of us?
I think that's radishes.
Aw, what a thoughtful kid. She even has some for Paimon.
Do not feed it after
You're
midnight.
welcome.
That's all I have to say.
Mmm, so tasty. If only there were more.
Yeah, some beasts, sure.
Having a healthy appetite is a good thing. It means Paimon's still growing. If I'd known I was going to run into you, I would have made a second batch.
Hope you're taking notes, Traveler. This is how you treat your Paimon.
What do you think,
So I'm
sir?
gonna cook it soon.
Are Liyue's snacks
Please,
to your
let me.
taste? I wonder if they're not sweet enough.
No, they're perfect.
Everything's
When I was
perfect
traveling
here.
through Mondstadt, I had a chance to try one of their moon pies. It had a meat filling, unlike these crisps. But apart from that, it seems like they follow a similar cooking process. Both are delicious in their own way. As for Fontaine's cooking, though,
Some of this food I would like to try, but then again,
it's
I
been a long
don't
time
think I
since I've had a
should.
taste of home.
Sounds like you spend a lot of time on the road, huh?
I do. It's part of my job. I'm one of the main organizers of the Iridescence Tour.
And here I thought the iridescence tour was only gonna be a pipe dream. Finally, Juliet is gonna have her moment. And if you want a taste of home, aka Fontaine, that's gonna be a while. Considering, you know, we're probably a few months away.
Iridescence tour?
That sounds somewhat
The Iridescence
familiar.
Tour is one of the biggest music festivals in Fontaine. We're looking to expand, though. Our aim is to hold a festival in every nation.
And you failed last year.
At least, all the main organizers share this goal. Unfortunately,
Means you're useless.
it's a long story, so I'll spare you the details. But anyway, so the main reason I'm traveling all around Tavad is to promote our music festivals. But I have some personal reasons, too.
Well,
Of course,
what
I
are
need,
they?
you know,
Just
the
tell us already.
whole life.
Let me see.
Every person I meet.
Well, to explain it in full, I'd have to start with a story from my ancestors. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh, I love listening to stories.
The child demands stories, and I will
We
listen.
want to hear it too.
Paimon can go away.
Okay, then I'll start from the beginning. The story goes that my ancestor, who was also a traveler, once slipped and fell into a lake during his travels. As he was sinking and
So
gasping
drowning
for
is something
breath,
that runs in the
he
family.
heard a
I see.
wondrous tune in the air. They say it was the most beautiful, moving melody he had ever heard. Even in that life and death moment, the ethereal music seized his full attention and almost made him forget the fact that he was drowning. When he finally came to, he found that he
Forget
had
the
already been
fact
brought
that you were
ashore.
drowning.
Not too far from him stood an unfamiliar woman with an almost divine aura. Once she saw that he was no longer in danger, she left without a word. My ancestor tried to run after her to give his thanks, but although a mere dozen paces separated them, no matter how quickly he gave chase, he drew no closer and remained a dozen paces behind. In the end, all he could do was to bow in thanks to the woman as he watched her walk away towards the rivers and mountains in the distance, before at last he turned around and made his way home.
A dozen paces. Is that like 10 steps or something? I think it's 10 steps. I don't know. I have no idea. But I think it's like 10 steps.
Once he
I think.
returned to Fontaine, he began to learn an instrument so that he could spread his story far and wide, just like the bards. After generations of
Oh, I see.
retelling, embellishing, and
know.
dramatizing, people have come to think of that lady as something like a fairy.
I thought it said traumatizing.
The
That
story's
makes me
become something of a
traumatized
local
everyone.
legend in Fontaine. It's called the Lady Overlooking the Lake. People now say that if you go down to the lakeside and play an instrument, so long as you play a pleasing melody, you will hear a fairy lady who is hiding out of sight, playing along with you.
No,
Wow.
just doing the vibing. It's a nice legend.
Well, yes. As it stands now, it's become a touch too romantic and detached from reality. But I understand the original story and its historical grounding better than anyone else. I wanted to find out the truth of this tale. So I decided to retrace my ancestors' steps and search for that lady's modern-day descendants. Of course, there's no way of knowing where my ancestor fell into the lake all those years ago. So I always knew that the search would be akin to looking for a needle in a haystack. I've spent many years on the road now, and I'm nowhere
Fair
near
enough.
as fit as I was in my youth. The wish that I've spent half my life chasing after has now become something of an obsession.
Yeah,
Well, I
obsession is a
haven't
good
lived
thing
half
every
of
once in a
my
while.
life yet, but still, I
That
understand
depends.
how you must feel.
I haven't lived half of my life yet. That depends. That can change very quickly.
Paimon too. It's like, imagine if you saved the center of a lotus flower crisp, which is
course,
the best
food.
part, by the way, because you wanted to eat it another day. But then suddenly, sploosh! It falls into the water, never to be seen again. Paimon would definitely remember that for the rest of her life.
As soon as food, she's gonna have a nightmare.
There's no need to
about
feel sorry for me. I've made some progress over the years. For example, I've concluded that the story must have taken place in Liyue.
Oh, so you finally found a lead?
Yes, in fact, that's an intriguing story in and of itself. I'd always known that Mondstadt is the city of song and freedom, but more recently, I heard that the Animal Archon returned to Mondstadt for a festival in the fall, and learned that he himself
Why
is a
Lazen
patron
Fest
deity of
thing?
music. So I prayed for the Animal Archon's guidance in the Mondstadt Cathedral, and as soon as I set foot back outside the front gate, I noticed a cluster of leaves being blown in the wind further and further west, towards Stone Gate.
So him nearly drowning. Can I say that's Venti's fault? Like, it's this guy's fault. Venti!
A friendly local told me that this meant the wind was guiding me in the direction of Liyue. So I followed their advice and made my way here.
That settles then. It was Leo.
Right? You get it. I knew I'd find someone that agrees with me eventually.
But still, why?
Are you sure? It sounds a bit too much like one of those fake legends told by those treasure hoarder guys to scam gullible grannies from Jingsa Village. Rex Lapis has
Gullible
returned to
grannies?
the world. Just give me some incense and a little more towards the travel fees, and I will pass your gift on to the Lord of Geo and ask him to keep you and your family safe and well. And so on and so on.
So this is what
Don't
we
worry,
need to start
Yo-Yo.
doing.
We
we?
have a lot of experience with deciphering omens and stuff. And anyway, you only got scammed if you handed over more of, right?
Actually, to express my gratitude, I did spend rather a lot of mora on several bottles of fine wine, which I left at the Statues of the Seven along the way.
Oh dear.
Well, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? Why don't I bring you all to Yujing Terrace to see Miss Ganyu?
Little gun
I don't know very many
Cocoa
people,
Puffs.
so I can't help you out much. But Miss Ganyu and the Qixing know just about everything.
That's fair.
If
They're
you've been
gonna lose
scammed,
government.
they'll help you get your Mora back. And if the wind was telling the truth, and you want to keep looking for that lady's family, they'll be the best people to ask.
That sounds like a good idea.
But you've already helped me so much.
We're just leading the way.
I was
Get your
gonna
ass
take some
moving.
new medicinal herbs and plants I picked to Miss Ganyu anyway, so it's no trouble at all.
You know what? It's been a minute since we saw Ganyu too. It should be nice to pay her a visit before Lantern, right?
Then let's get moving.
All right. Well, my sincere thanks to you all. I will never forget your kindness.
You shouldn't.
Okay, everyone, please follow me. I'll be your guide. Remember to watch where you're going, okay?
Uh-oh. Paimon's out of a job. Oh well. Paimon will just be a cheerleader instead.
Can it just, poof into out of existence then? Can I get a floating Yao Yao? Like, switch out. Oh, and they actually have. Ooh.
Wow. Liyue Harbor looks very different from when I came last.
Yeah, I was here like 2 minutes ago.
It's almost as if I'm listening to the same melody, but with a richer timbre and new variations added.
Well, we are here during Lantern Rite after all. It only comes once a year, so they always have a big celebration. It's fair to say
Sure.
that this time of year is when Liyue Harbor looks the prettiest.
Great.
Do you even
Let's
have,
go
you
and
know,
check it
the
out. I can't
reflections in
wait
the
to get
water?
into the city and see it all up
That's
close
neat
for
here.
myself. The streets are breathtaking. Smiles and laughter everywhere I
No,
look.
I can't see it anymore.
It's contagious.
But when I saw
I can
the
almost
cutscene,
feel the
you could
music in the
see
air. I have the
reflections
urge
in
to
the
start
water.
waving my conductor's baton.
What?
I'm glad that you're enjoying the city.
You're not a musician, you're a conductor. That is wise. It is pretty every year, honestly. I've only played 2 Lantern Rides, not all 3 of them, but it is still really pretty every year. And I think they tried to switch it up every year too. I don't know if they had like fireworks the first year, but they had it the
Well,
second
hey,
year.
everyone. Well, fancy meeting you all here. What a nice surprise.
Or hash brown.
Hello, Xinyan. Let me introduce some new friends. They are...
Traveler, Paimon, and Mr. Dvorak, right? I've known them all for quite a while.
She should be angry at him. The fact that, you know, he fucked up the iridescent tour last year. Lol. Alas.
When I was last here to advertise a Liyue stop for the Iridescence Tour, Xinyan was one of the few people willing to give me the time of day.
She hears music and she's all over the place.
Well, feels like I've been chasing this Iridescence Tour bandwagon halfway around the world, but I keep getting stood up. What's going on, Mr. Dvorak?
I'm so sorry, Xinyan. We've had a string of terrible luck recently, and every time we've tried to put on a show, something or other has come up to stop our plans from materializing.
Is that right? I guess it
That's
can't be
surprising.
helped. So, what brings you to Liyue Harbor at this time of year anyway? Thinking of putting on a music festival during the Lantern Rite celebrations?
A Lantern Rite music festival? Yes, please!
No, I'm actually here on personal business this time.
Oh, so
And
no
drowning is
Lantern Rite
apparently
music
personal.
festival?
Fair enough, honestly.
I mean, that's not just up to me. Hosting a music festival takes a lot of funding and personnel. Moreover, I've never worked with the Liyue authorities before. Even if I were to start putting something together right now, I think it'd be too rushed.
Wait, but we're going to meet the Liyue Qixing, aren't we? And they're the ones in charge.
Kuching is all over the place. She can
That's
fix it.
right. Miss Kuching and Miss Ningguang can make anything happen.
You mean, what?
This is the perfect opportunity! Well, sure, it might not work out, but it can't hurt to bring it up as a suggestion.
A Lantern Rite music festival would be something different. It'd be a huge hit. It would be something
That's
different.
the spirit! See? Even the Traveler agrees with me. Mr. Dvorak, don't let yourself be put off by the fact that a few things haven't worked out recently. As for the performers, I can put you in touch with some local artists. My friend Yunjin
know.
is a well-known opera singer in Liyue. With her support and a commissioned song from the Yunhan Opera Troupe, we should be able to get something going.
But what about you, Xinyan? Are you just going to sit this one out?
What do you take me for? If we actually
Organizing,
managed
apparently.
to make the Iridescence Tour Lantern Rite Grand Concert a reality, you think I'd let anyone else perform the opening act?
Wow! There's that rock and roll spirit!
What do you
Rock and
say,
roll
Mr.
it is.
Dvorak?
I like the fact that we're already planning the whole tour and he hasn't even... We haven't even got to ask whether we could or not. We never really do anyway.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. But the opening act is not something to be chosen lightly, Xinyan. I will judge your work by the strictest of standards, so please make sure you are fully prepared.
Why is that dog
Are
sitting
you
on
kidding?
top of the
I
umbrella?
thought you'd never ask. Whew, guess my shopping time's getting cut short. I'm gonna head back right away and start working on this. Yao Yao, if you run into your senior on the way to the Qixing, please send her my regards.
Okay, I promise I will. Good luck with your music, Xinyan.
And who needs
You've
the
got
government's
this,
approval?
Xinyan.
We already approved it ourselves, apparently. Who needs the
So
government?
about the senior of yours Xinyan mentioned just now. Is that
Is this
anyone
dog
we know?
okay?
Yes, it's Xiangling. She's mentioned you two before. Xiangling's always thinking about cooking. Whenever she gets scrapes or burns,
You okay,
she
buddy?
just leaves them to heal by themselves.
Dog petting one.
She definitely
Moyo.
needs someone
Fix it.
around her to look after her. I
Perverse
know you must
dog
have
petting
looked out
one.
for her a lot too in the time you've known her. So, thank you for that.
Wow, this place is pretty. Every year. Every year they do this. This is something I would trip on in real life. What do you want me to do? Madam Ping? No. It does want me to talk to Madam Ping.
Oh, it's Master! Is it okay if I go and say hi to her?
No, not at all. Keep walking. You gotta say
Oh,
hello to
calm
Master-
down
to
now, dear.
Madam Ping.
I'm not about to run off anywhere. I'm not a bundle of energy like you.
Not anymore, at
I
least.
haven't seen you in days, Master! I've missed you.
Oh, bless you, Yao Yao. You do say the sweetest things. Ah, look who it is.
He seems a little bit
Visiting
more
friends during the
melancholy.
Lantern Rite, are we?
Greetings, Madam
You're
Ping.
half right, Madam Ping. We were also trying to help out Mr. Dvorak over here. We were on our way to take him to see the Qixing.
Hello, ma'am. I am a musician from Fontaine and an organizer of the Iridescence Tour. I don't suppose you've heard of it.
Master! The Iridescence Tour is a super famous music festival!
Oh, an old lady like me wouldn't know much about that sort of thing. A music festival, you say? It sounds terribly exciting.
Kids add some music elements to the lantern.
Oh, right! Madam Ping, how would you feel about that? You're an elder of Liyue, and you know all about Liyue's cultural traditions. Hearing your thoughts would definitely help us figure out how best to approach it. For example, do you think it might be a bit too modern, or is there any other issue?
Good question, honestly.
Why, not at all. Music pays homage to history and culture, and it can also be a bridge between different civilizations.
She sounds so melancholy.
Times change, and
Like
the music
sad.
enjoyed by the youngsters of today is no doubt very different from the tunes I was accustomed to in my youth. Nevertheless, all fine things in life can be appreciated. And so, I look forward to it immensely.
Hear, hear. I do believe that, my own dear grandmother aside, you are the wisest old lady I've ever met.
Goodness gracious, you're all being suspiciously sweet today. Yao Yao, whatever have you been feeding them?
I actually don't know what it was, but we ate it.
Master, you're in such a great mood today! You're even cracking jokes with the rest of us!
She seems melancholy.
Well.
Yes.
I'm sure you must have plenty to be getting on with, yes? Run along now. Don't let me hold you up.
Thanks, Madam Ping. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, next year apparently. 1,000 miles for not. Anyway, something tunes. That's where I'm leaving it. Just keep running, just keep running. Never skip a leg day apparently in Genshin. The amount of leg muscles these people would have, and to be able to do it in heels. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be able to. I can't even walk in heels. And this lady can run in them? Got you! I need your status to do something.
And when you meet with the Ministry of Civil Affairs, please remind them that the festivities are not an excuse to procrastinate their work.
Understood, Miss Ganyu. I'll take my leave now.
Yeah, you go away so we can talk. Why am I sassy today? Why am I sassy today?
What brings you here, Yao Yao?
I've brought all the
Music.
medicine you asked me to pick for you. Oh, and here's a pack of sweet flower seeds as well.
That's a bunny, bunny and two
Also,
radishes.
these dried chingshin leaves make a great pot of tea that's very good for you. I know
She
you've had
needs
a
some
lot
sleep.
to deal with at work recently, but you shouldn't push yourself too hard.
She needs
If
like a
you're
10-hour
not
sleep.
careful, you'll end up falling asleep in the grass
Two
again.
times a day.
Well, this is weird. It's like a responsible younger sister talking to their disorganized older sister.
What's with that look? Don't lose the Paimon.
Thank you, but Paimon's criticism is quite valid. I do have a tendency to neglect matters outside of work, and that's something I should improve on. Oh, my apologies.
For quite some
I
time.
don't believe we've been introduced.
Ah, Paimon will do the honors.
So you're not completely useless. Have you met to his family history and shared confusion?
What's wrong? Did Paimon go over everything a bit too fast? It's definitely an ambitious plan. If there's anything you didn't quite catch, Paimon's more than happy to go over it again.
It may be a little difficult to make this happen.
Why?
Oh?
Well, the Lantern Rite is the most important festival of the year. Our celebrations must not only be visually spectacular, but also appeal to the tastes of Liyue citizens from all walks of life. The
Fair.
Iridescence Tour is relatively unknown in Liyue. It's difficult to predict how a brand new show will be received.
I won't
It
know
would be
until we
quite
try, right?
risky for us to bet everything on this one music festival.
You never said you have to bet everything on it.
All very
Just
valid
put us in a
points.
small little corner of
I
the
completely
harbor.
understand.
Therefore, we
fix
will not
everything up.
replace or cancel any of our pre-existing program. However, I will submit a proposal requesting to put the Iridescence Tour special performance as the final act of this year's festivities. Some live music will certainly add to the festive atmosphere on the night of the Lantern Rite. As for the venue, let's reserve a space at the docks.
That way, we're not taking the steal anyone
Yes,
else's thunder.
my thoughts precisely. Now I just need to take some time to give this proposal some polish. As long as I clearly lay out the pros and cons, and highlight the key points of the proposal, given that Ping and the Traveler have both given the idea their blessing, I'm confident that Qixing will be sure to give it serious consideration.
Yeah,
Mr.
just
Dvorak,
take
I will
months
need to
do it.
discuss with you the number of musicians who will be coming to Liyue, as well as their catering and accommodation requirements.
Oh, yes, certainly. Let's step to the side and discuss further.
Well, he lightened up rather quickly. It's not gonna work. 2 seconds later. Yes, I will do whatever
As
you
soon
say.
as there's work to do, Ganyu's as diligent as ever.
I couldn't agree
Kind of
more.
doesn't do anything else.
Master once said that everyone has things that they are good at and things that they are less good at. So, with that in mind, Ganyu shouldn't feel compelled to become perfect at absolutely everything.
That sounds like
I'm good at taking care of people, so that can be left to me.
Wow.
Fair.
Hey, Yo-Yo, can you take care of Paimon too? Paimon's getting hungry again.
You're trying to freeload again.
I'm afraid my backpack's empty now, but
That's a
if you let me know
basket.
what you like, I can bring you some of your favorite dishes next
But if
time
I
we
open
meet.
it, I'm gonna see Nezuko.
Apart from lotus flower crisps, what else do you like?
Anything with the
Anything
word
sweet,
food.
and anything that's made from slimes.
They're still very weird.
Here's what I've drafted so far. Anything else you want to add?
No, this is excellent. I'm racking my brains, but I don't think you've missed a single thing.
Perfect. Then we'll leave it as is. I'll go make an official copy.
From what? Air.
Oh, perfect timing. We were just wrapping up our discussion here.
That was quick.
Not at all. Every second counts for a complex proposal
at
such
all.
as this. I will
Turn
inform the
my head,
Qixing of this
talk with
development
Yao Yao for, like,
immediately.
Minutes.
Please give me a moment to
And then
pass on the message.
Everything's fixed.
Yao Yao, thank you for bringing my herbs. I will make sure to take them.
Remember to make tea from them first, Ganyu. You mustn't just chew them raw.
That's something that probably happened.
I will.
Okay, I should be getting back. If
I'm
Yo-Yo
going over
stays
here
out
and
for
just see
too long,
actually has.
Mom and Dad will be worried sick. Everyone, I'm sure that the music festival will go off without a hitch, so don't worry. And in case I don't see you before, I wish you all a very happy Lantern Rite.
Thank you, Yao Yao. Happy Lantern Rite to you, too.
Oh,
We
hell
should
yeah,
go
yeah.
get dinner
She needs
together
to be protected.
sometime.
Protect this child. Stay put and wait for 2 hours. How's the weather? The birds flew, apparently. Is everything doing great? The ping at like 200, it's great, isn't it? That's the way it's supposed to be, right? 100? Oh my god. They put him wait. No. Weird. It's not 2 hours. It was.
Though the clouds may darken and light turn to gloom.
Greetings, Traveler, Paimon, and Mr. Dvorak. Call me Kuching.
Best
Ganyu
girl.
has brought me up to speed
Sorry.
on everything. I'll get straight to the point. The Qixing have approved Ganyu's proposal.
Oh,
Over the
okay.
next few days, I will be working with Mr. Dvorak on behalf of the Qixing to facilitate the organization of this concert.
Yay! That's awesome!
Last year she was doing everything called fireworks and festivities, and this year she's doing it again. Just with music. Ka-ching! Strikes again.
Please,
The Qixing have a duty to deal with matters such as these. We have merely moved things forward to the next step. On a more personal note, I am an avid supporter of all things new and innovative.
Yeah,
As such, it is my privilege to work with you on this exciting project.
Thank you so much, Kaching. I'd become quite discouraged after our recent failures and was expecting the same outcome once again, so I didn't dare to get my hopes up. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined this going so smoothly. It's like a dream come true.
Because in Kuching we
Right.
trust.
Time for me to call in the performers. To stage a
know we could
concert
see
at a
Skynet.
high-profile event like this is a rare opportunity. We'll make sure it's a night to remember.
Yes! Our music band's finally getting fired up!
Yes, indeed.
And all too.
I know exactly what I'm doing from here. For a musician, music will always be the language they are most fluent in.
What about your ancestor?
Oh, that. Well, that can wait for another time.
Oh. Ganyu? What's wrong?
They told me all about Mr. Dvorak's situation, but I was so engrossed in drafting the proposal that I forgot all about it.
Oh, that's quite all right. I don't even know what the person I'm trying to find looks like, so it was always going to be a long shot. Don't worry about me, Ganyu. Your time and energy are needed elsewhere. I'm sure you already have plenty to deal with between this concert and everything else going on during the Lantern Rite.
Fair.
Thanks.
She would have a
It
lot
was
to do.
just that I had a few initial thoughts when I heard your story. For instance, I wonder if this lady your ancestor met might have been an Adeptus. What do you think?
It's definitely a possibility.
To tell you the truth, Mr. Dvorak, I am somewhat related to the Adepti myself. I am part human and part Qilin. The Qilin is an illuminated beast. I know how important your quest to get in touch with your roots must be to you, because I've
I
been
think
there
we were all
myself
just
before,
staring at her.
trying to find out where I belonged.
Did you say the Adepti? And you're illuminated beast? Part Qilin? Are you telling me all the rumors of the Liyue Adepti are real? So it's not just artistic license?
You
What?
bet they're real! Trying to track them down is tough, though. Like Julian Karst itself. There's nothing specifically stopping you from going there, but getting in and out of there is quite an ordeal.
Yes.
Concentrate for himself, he'll be
Anyway,
angry with you.
if you're looking to uncover a lost melody or shine light on a forgotten aspect of Liyue's cultural history, I'm probably not the best person to ask. But if it's a person you're looking for, then I just might be able to help.
I see. I think I understand the situation now. In that case, Ganyu, shall we divide the work between us?
Yes, that was also my thought.
Great. So Mr. Dvorak and I will concentrate on things here in the city to make sure the concert goes according to plan. In the meantime, Ganyu will reach out to our network and try to find the person he's looking for. How's your workload at the moment? Will you be able to make time?
I can probably get through everything in 2 days, as long as I don't sleep.
Wait, what do you mean as long as I don't sleep? Even
some
for
sleep,
someone
woman.
with illuminated beast blood in their veins, working for such an extended period without a break will take its toll on your health.
Somehow that does not sound persuasive coming from Kuching.
Fair enough.
Be it but 3 moons from the start, he who returns is not he that departs.
Huh?
Even I know the importance of maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
In that case, 3 days.
All right, I can work with that.
If you have the time, would you join me for this search? You're well known to many of the Adepti and respected among the people. I'll feel much more at ease with your company.
Sign me up.
Okay, then let's
I'm
meet back
going.
here in 3 days.
3 days, apparently. Did we
Watch
just forget,
this space, Mr. Dvorak. We'll get to the bottom of this.
you just
You're all
forget
so
about Chongli
helpful and
eating
kind. I just...
bamboo shoots things.
Just think. Imagine if we found the
Yes.
Adeptus lady, or one of her
Because of
descendants, and got
God's
them to come to the performance. Wouldn't that be amazing? It'd be such a happy reunion. And that's exactly what this festival's all about.
I'm sure the wind that guided you here feels the
You're
same
right. Okay, I'm gonna pull out all the stops to make this Lantern Rite a true extravaganza.
We should probably get going. Mr. Dvorak, could you come with me to confirm the site?
Ooh, We're coming too!
Are we?
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on music? What does it mean to you?
Absolutely nothing.
Music sounds nice?
That was horrible.
Truth be told, the question of what music means to people is one that I've been pondering for quite some time. Let's revisit this question after the concert.
Here. There. Come here.
Lady Yuhong?
Bywin, what is it?
She did not look happy about that.
Per Lady Ningguang's orders, I've been gathering intelligence outside of the city with the goal of uncovering and dispatching any trouble ahead of the festival. I am told that a strange melody was heard somewhere along the coast. I was wary of investigating further on my own, so I was just on my way to report this incident to Lady Ningguang.
Somebody heard music
But I'm
and that's
worried
not okay.
that if we don't
Okay,
act right away, we may miss the window of opportunity to take appropriate action.
I understand. In that case,
Let us handle it. Best
Yeah,
girl needs rest.
Kuching, you're busy enough as it is. There's a ton of different things in the city that needs your attention. Leave it to us. Don't worry. Whatever it is, we'll definitely be able to handle it. Well, she will handle it.
I look so
With
dumb
the
with
traveler
Paimon.
on the case, it's as good as dealt with.
It's a good thing the traveler is
Thank you.
as done with Paimon as
This
the
will
rest
be
of
a
us.
great help. I will inform Lady Ningguang about the situation. Once it's resolved, please come and find me again at Yujing Terrace and let me know.
Will do. And say hi to Ningguang for us.
you have my thanks too. Stay safe and come back as soon as you're finished.
Good luck.
Why do I have a feeling it's Venti? Go to a place she mentioned. Why do I have a feeling it's Venti? Actually. Then again, it was a flute. He does play a flute, doesn't he? Along with, or at least he knows how to play a flute. Along with his lyre. I think it's Venti. Maybe Shao? He also knows how to play a flute. Well, this place looks depressing.
Byron said the strange tune was coming from around here, right?
It's just like,
But Paimon doesn't hear anything. There doesn't seem to be a soul in...
I was just wondering who in their right mind would come out to a place like this. So,
Yelan.
it's you two.
Yelan? How'd you sneak up on us like that? You nearly gave Paimon a heart attack.
You need to do better
You
next
look
time.
pretty alive to me. Can't have spooked you that bad.
Exactly, you need to do it better next time.
Fair enough.
Knowing anything about the strange music.
Ah, you're here for that too? Saves me a bit of explaining.
No, not really. Explain what's going on.
Come with me. I've already reconned the perimeter, so we should be safe.
Hence why I gave Paimon a horrible heart attack. Investigate for clues.
The stuff by the door is in pretty good condition, though. It can't have been too long ago that someone was last living here.
Stuff by the door? Oh my god. I can't even see how.
The doors and windows are all fine, so there definitely wasn't a break-in.
Who would break into everything? Never mind. Salmon window.
This place is completely empty. There's nothing valuable left here at all.
Talk to Yelan, but she's not here. I will have them in first.
How strange. It
It's
looks
still
like it's
glowing
been
as black.
looted, except for the fact that there's no sign of a struggle. The bad guys could have sneaked in while the owner was gone, but then how do you explain why the door and windows are intact?
key.
Seems
or,
you've done a
not
pretty
one.
thorough inspection. So, any theories on what might have happened here?
Daylon, you didn't hide some of the evidence from us on purpose, did you?
No.
Why would I make this more difficult for you? We're on the same side here.
Okay, well... Paimon gives up then. Paimon's got nothing.
What about you?
As per usual.
Give up as well?
Must have something to do with the melody.
Your instincts are pretty good. Or perhaps it's not instinct. The strange melody is one of the few pieces of information you have available, after all. Let me share a folk story with you.
More
A
stories.
long time ago, there used to be a group of bandits in the Liyue countryside who would sound a horn every time they were about to raid a village. But it wasn't a rallying cry to rouse their fellow men. It was a disconcerting tune, meant to intimidate the weak and warn them of their impending doom. To escape with their lives, the villagers would abandon their homes and flee overnight, taking only their most valuable belongings with them. Everything else was left behind. The bandits were eventually brought to justice, but the fear and trauma remained in the villagers' hearts. Whenever they heard that melody, they would feel like their lives were in danger once again, and flee immediately. The culprit of this crime exploited that very fear to get access to this house without having to force their way in.
That's quite the story.
So it's not
The
venting,
victims
most
obviously
likely.
will have gotten quite a fright, but at least they won't be in any great danger. The important thing now is to find this copycat criminal.
If we use elements
On
inside.
any other day, that'd probably be a good idea. Unfortunately, it's not gonna work today. Take a look around and you'll see what I mean. This criminal is clearly well-versed both in using music to commit crimes and in making a clean getaway. Not only did they stay off the muddy road to avoid leaving footprints, it looks like they were also careful not to bring any gadgets with so much as a trace of elemental energy. Evidently, they were intent on keeping even the most experienced investigators off their trail. Unfortunately for them, I'm one of the best trackers in the business. They're not about to get away with their little scheme on my watch.
So basically,
Why
if
did
we
you
want
hear
to
her
find the
footsteps?
culprit, we just need to
She
follow
wasn't walking on
Yeon.
the floor. I'm not walking on the floor. It's grass here.
As long as you can keep up. Since the culprit's trying to be cautious and low risk, I'll bet they left through an area with some vegetation for cover, but not so much that it would slow them down.
Fair. Jeez. She just ran. This is a mud road again. But where we're not supposed to go?
Here, look at this.
What?
These tracks are superficial, but they definitely didn't occur naturally. Something heavy was being dragged this way, meaning we're headed in the right direction.
It's a good thing then. Start moving.
Their pace is increased. Normally, people carrying a heavy load slow down as their journey goes on and they start to tire. Whatever's motivating them to speed up must be psychological. For instance, reaching the home stretch.
So they're living right around here, apparently. Good thing. You know, move it. Kuching is having a jog after you at this point.
Squall and Fury.
There we go.
There they are! Look! A treasure hoarder tent! Ugh, not the treasure hoarders again! And so close to Lantern Rite, too! 'Tis not the season for their antics!
I'll say that was fits. His disease were not our antics.
Come on, let's round them up.
Your girl. It's the wonder. Or as I called him, Swoosh. You who is Swoosh? Swoosh is here. Bullying.
Let the show be...
I know. Never mind. No
Hey!
fighting.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
The wall.
The evidence is conclusive. Okay, confess and we'll
I
go
thought it was
easy
gonna
on
fight,
you.
okay.
My patience is running low, so why don't you do us both a favor, hmm?
You kidding me? You think I'm scared of you?
Perhaps not, but you should be.
By the law, we will now end. What?
Quietly now. Busted.
Curses. Seems like you're not all talk after all. There's no going back now.
I wanted to use good chin.
Mercy! Have mercy!
No,
Oh, it's a little late for that.
I don't do mercy.
I've come this far, I might as well finish the job.
I surrender! I surrender, please! I'll do whatever you say. Please have mercy.
Tell us everything. You have one chance, and I'm warning you. Don't make me ask twice.
I won't,
The
I swear.
dramatic zoom in.
You know, so Lantern Rite's nearly here, and like a lot of people, I wanted to buy a few nice things. I know I'm with the treasure hoarders and everything, but I don't really have any kind of experience with robbing people and whatnot. So I don't have the guts to
Why is he
break
just
into
standing
somebody's
there? Never
house.
mind, he left.
Wow, you're really going to complain to us about that?
No, not at all. I'm just telling it how it is.
Okay, continue.
I racked my brains trying to think of what I could do, and eventually, I remembered something from back when I was a kid. The bandits would blow their horn, and my grandma would grab us kids and run. I remember the tune, so I figured I'd try it for myself. I mean, just to see what would happen. At first, anyway, I seriously didn't expect that family to pack up and leave. But they did, and they just left all their stuff right there for the taking. It was too easy, I couldn't resist. It was completely wrong of me, I know that now. I'll return everything that I took. It's all still in perfect condition, and it'll be like it was never gone. Please, give me a chance.
Give you a chance, huh? Sounds to me like you'd rather strike some kind of a deal than spend Lantern Rite behind bars.
Yes? Yes?
You know how to
yes?
bargain, I'll give you that. It's just a pity that you didn't confess at the first opportunity. You'll have to take a walk with me. Once we've returned the goods, we'll find the owner of the house, and you can apologize to them in person.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, as a former victim of this kind of crime yourself, I doubt anyone understands the fear you inflicted quite as well as you do. Does your greed matter more to you than your fear? More to the point, if you can play a tune from memory, don't you think you should be capable of making an honest living?
You mean...
Are we now gonna make him a goddamn musician?
That's enough hints for you. You'll have plenty of time to reflect on all of this yourself. There's not much left to wrap up, so I'll take it from here. Guess this is where I'll say goodbye.
Well done, Yellow.
What is it? Is there something else?
I'm still not sure how you first got your hands on this information, so play it safe when you get back. Don't mention to anyone that you ran into me out here. You helped a lot with the investigation and arrest anyway, so it's perfectly fair for you to get all the credit. Just take it. It works better for me, too.
I'm like, oh shit.
See you when I see you. And happy Lantern Rite.
Yeon's such a pro at this. With her taking it from here, it's as good as resolved. Whoosh! Random event, a strange melody, complete. Although, it's kind of a shame that we never got that treasure hoarder guy to play the melody again.
I'm quite curious
Right?
myself.
How could anyone not be? When we were chatting with Mr. Dvorak, music seemed like such a positive thing.
I don't think that's a melody we should play at the Lantern Rite. Ending the Lantern Rite with goddamn panic.
And most music is,
Full
right?
panic.
It
The
can
world's
help us
going under
relax,
everything.
feel all warm and fuzzy, recall
awful.
happy
Something
memories,
else.
or
Say
even
what you
just
will
think
about.
happy thoughts. Paimon never imagined that music could be used to commit crimes.
Your bad deeds influence the emotions associated with the
Oh,
music.
really? Huh. Makes sense. Paimon's musical understanding improves again. Well, anyway, now
down for that. A
Back to
cookie
Liyue
or a
Harbor.
gold star?
Byron's still waiting for us with our random event rewards.
Okay. Come on, headache done. And we're going back to the terrace. I will not try to say the first word. I am thirsty. Hold on. Technical difficulties with family. At this point, you know, the bamboo shoots that Changli asked for, it's not gonna be fresh anymore. You know, you may be disappointed in me. Not like I gave him what he thought to begin with, but you know, maybe I have to get 3 more.
Byron, we're back! Everything's all sorted!
That's great news. Oh, please wait here a moment if you would be so kind. Lady Ningguang instructed me to advise her upon your return.
Advise her. Just have to run back. Just tell her, hey, she's back.
My greetings to both of you. Long time no see.
No need to be so formal with us, Ningguang. We've known each other for a long time now. You must be super busy with all the preparations for Lantern Rite. Don't mind us.
On the contrary, I think it is those that I have known longest to whom I should extend the greatest courtesies.
Fair enough,
Alas,
honestly.
on a different day, I would invite both of you inside for some tea and a brief respite from your travels. But you're quite right. Trivial matters aside, there's no escaping the fact that we have a grand concert to organize. Once the performance itself is over, we'll then need to invite the representatives of the Iridescence Tour for a discussion on future collaboration opportunities. The financing arrangements alone could well entail many rounds of discussion. Simply put, there will always be work to do.
She's already planned the future, apparently.
Whoa, you're already thinking that far ahead?
Well, we can discuss more current affairs if you'd prefer. I trust you saw this year's Mingxiao lantern at the docks when you arrived at the city?
Yeah, it looks like a goose. Which Adeptus is it modeled on this time?
Sea Gazer. I believe you're familiar with the name.
Yeah, from Shenhe's story quest, right? I think
Legend
that's
holds
what
that he was free-spirited and easygoing.
Yeah.
People described him as a cheerful soul and a loyal friend.
Yeah.
On this marvelous lantern rite, we pray that the fallen heroes may be guided home. If the sound of music can flow like the rivers and streams into every corner of the land, perhaps the souls of those who have gone before us will hear the song of a new era. I wondered whether the melodies will be to their liking.
Oh, they're gonna love them. I'm sure of it. At least, if the guy you mentioned is anything to go by, the Adepti and heroes of the past sound like a positive and free-spirited, cheerful bunch. They're sure to be open to new music.
Well, let's hope so. I heard that you'll be going on a search with Ganyu to find the descendants of a fairy lady from a Fontaine legend. I'm sure this quest to uncover the truth behind an ancient story will turn into a most charming tale. Do share it with me, won't you? I couldn't bear to miss out.
Sure. I'll let you know. Give me the tea. Never mind. Just had a minor heart attack. Radiant Sparks, Paper Theater. Vigilance at Sea. Behind the scenes. There's a quest for everything. Beta's back. Behind the scene. Let's start at the beginning, honestly. Radiant spark during the Lantern tension. A recruiter from the adventure guild is eagerly rubbing her hands together in anticipation of interesting events. I see, yeah, a lot of it. Part 2. Stop being so angry all the time. I do not want to run upstairs, so I'm gliding down. I'm sending Scar up. I literally dropped on her head. And she's half asleep. Wakey wakey, Ganyu.
Greetings, Traveler and Paimon. What time is it?
Are you okay, Ganyu? You were nodding off there. Didn't you sleep well last night?
Did she sleep last night? Question.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Let's discuss the matter at hand. Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about the story Paimon told me. In essence, someone rescued a drowning man and performed some music. If that were all there was to it, it could have been many people, human or Adeptus. But the tune was allegedly so wonderful that the drowning man forgot about everything else, even his own impending death, and only came to his senses after being brought to shore. Perhaps there was an adeptal power at work in that music that he, as a mortal, could not perceive. Or perhaps he sensed a power surrounding him but lacked the words to describe it, not knowing where it came from. Either way, if this part of the story is true, then the rescuer has to have been an Adeptus.
You really think so? But this story is all the way from Fontaine. Isn't this a bit of a long shot? Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think this fairy lady looked.
Maybe they imagine her having wings. Maybe they gave her horns.
Ooh, like
fairy,
a crystal fly's wings? That would be pretty cool. But Paimon definitely can't imagine any of the Adepti looking like that. Actually, Ganyu,
have you met all
if
of
you had to
Some
save a
are
drowning
birds.
person, how would you go about it?
Huh? Me?
Some of the Adepti is literally birds and whatever the hell
well,
Mooncarver is.
I'd get them to the shore, and then I'd probably hide behind a tree and watch them for a while.
So
Once I was sure that they were going to be okay, I'd slip away without a sound.
So cute.
Got it. So basically, Ganyu's the type of person who doesn't like taking credit for her good deeds.
No, it's not like that.
Yes, it is.
I'm just not very good at explaining things. And I also find it really awkward accepting other people's gratitude.
Explain things. You
What
were
if this
drowning, I
Adeptus in the
saved
story
you.
had a
Done.
similar attitude?
What more is
That
there
would
to
explain
explain?
why she just left without saying a word. She was probably thinking something like, one was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption to one's graceful zithering at once. You may keep your thanks to yourself.
That was actually a
Cloud
very
Retainer?
good impression of Cloud Retainer, Paimon. As far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer isn't the most musically gifted. Still, we can't completely rule her out just yet.
Is it just go up to,
If we set off now, we could head to Mount
Ask?
Outsung and ask her about it.
Like, hey,
You'll be able to confirm either way if it's
info.
her, and I can, I've been in Lea Harbor for so long now that I'm just not as familiar with the Adepti anymore. If there's anything we want to know about them, she's the best person to ask.
Or bird?
Sounds great! And we're pretty close with Cloud Retainer by now, so we probably don't even need to bring her food this time, right?
I've prepared a gift for her to mark the festival, just in case. However,
Still have some reservations.
Cloud Retainer spends most of her days studying mechanisms in her abode. She's on her own so much of the time that the moment she has someone to chat with, she just...
Shouts
Never mind.
everything.
I promised I'd help Mr.
Nothing's off
Dvorak,
the table.
and now that I've made the contract, I can't be having second thoughts. Traveler, Paimon, let's set off for Cloud Retainer's abode.
To Cloud Retainer we go.
Seems like this is
Braiding
a tough
her into
decision for
sweet
Ganyu,
Madame
but she's made up her mind now. Paimon gets why she'd be so anxious.
Why?
Okay, how about this? If Cloud Retainer tries to start telling stories about her again this year, We should pipe up and change the topic.
No, I want to hear the stories, please.
Did she leave already? Hey, Ganyu, wait up!
She told us to leave. I'll be there faster. I'll just, teleport. Hey. I'll be waiting there for her. Why do I have a pin here? Honestly, 90% of these pins I don't even know what it's for. At all. Well, retainer, I'm bringing the sassy child. Oh, that ain't eerie. I've been worried about that one. Or somebody said that's shall. Sometimes somebody think that's so shall. Shut it! I don't need your attitude today. Keep that attitude to yourself, buddy.
I'm so tired from trying to keep up. Don't either of you need to take any breaks?
You're flying. You can literally just hold on.
I can't believe it. Cloud Retainer is not here.
Huh?
Maybe the
Did we miss
whistling
her?
or something.
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's always been the other Adepti who come to visit her during the festivals.
Could you be busy with something
True.
else right now?
Now that I think about it, Cloud Retainer would be quite capable of taking care of anything on her own. There's no need to worry about her. Since she's not here,
very rarely
I guess the
worried
next
about a
step is to
character.
check all the other Adepti abodes.
I'm usually worried
one
because,
by one.
The story tells me to be worried.
Will it involve a lot more traveling?
You can just hold on to that cape thing I have. Maybe not, but that would probably, choke me out some,
Paimon has a great idea!
Please go on,
I never
Paimon.
do.
Our goal here is to find the Adeptus that helped Dvorak's ancestor, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice as the story suggests, she'd definitely come to help anyone who was drowning, right?
Are you planning on
Yes,
drowning
I think
me?
that's fair to say.
So, all we
Lady-
have to do is get the Traveler to pretend to fall into the water, and the Adeptus will come to the rescue!
You planning on drowning me? Have I made one too many Paimon jokes? One too many threats? So now she's coming for me? Oh no. Chris, not sure. Why don't you try?
You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim! Paimon would sink like a rock!
You can handle it better, just have to fish you out. I got a fishing rod. You'll be fine. I just think it's a bad idea.
Just trust Paimon! The water's pretty deep over there! Quick, swim to the very center!
That feeling when you make one too many Paimon jokes. What? Haven't I been here? Didn't I do exploration here? What? No, never mind. Never mind.
Help! Help! Someone's drowning! If
looks like a
only there was
floating,
a kind-hearted Adeptus here to save us!
No.
Oh no! Whatever will a Paimon do?
Is Cloud Retainer now gonna be angry at me?
What is going on?
Oh, Xiao. Are you done screaming all the time?
How do you feel right now?
Jenna is back. Our girl. This is not what was planned.
Shut
up. Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain it.
His attempt gone wrong. And he's now angry with me.
Paimon will explain. We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music.
Xiao plays the flute, doesn't
They
he?
aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
It wasn't me.
I can tell.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is most likely a woman.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and
Where,
Paimon.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault.
How
No way
you can take her
Paimon would have
on the fact that
suggested
she,
this idea if
tried
she'd
to
known how awkward
drown
this
me.
was gonna be.
Yeah, Paimon just tried to drown me, so, you know, Xiao, take her. Shenhe, do what you do best. Care people. Sorry for troubling me a bit.
Glad you're okay.
Ellie,
As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing.
Don't drown again.
Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
Okay, do not drown.
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes, just like the wind. Right.
Well, he basically told me not to drown.
I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for Lantern Rite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you'd like.
Yay!
Oh,
bring our girl back.
I had planned to spend the festival with Master this year. However...
She gone.
Speaking of Cloud Retainer, when did you see her last?
Earlier this morning. She set off for Mount Hulao at dawn. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a boiler. Maybe it was a gift from Mountain Shaper. I did not inquire.
So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her abode.
Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer recently.
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continue to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, and also recommended several work positions for me.
Good progress.
But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that. Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not. It's a little difficult to keep track of everything.
Ganyu gets embarrassed when people call her Lady Ganyu.
Oh, is that what it is? Noted. So, you came looking for Master today because you wanted to ask her about the Mystery Adeptus. Is that right?
Why do I imagine Shenhe like having a little notebook where she like writes the little things what happened? Like, oh, I'm supposed to do this here, not this. Do not smack people's head a handful of times and time into the road.
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever heard any music while out training in the mountains?
Music? What is that?
That's no.
It's a kind of a happy or relaxing sound, or a nerve-wracking sound, or even a terrifying one.
So she's not gonna believe monsters.
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us. We won't miss her again.
Yay! That's really helpful. Thanks!
That's one way to do it.
We were just talking about this thing called music, and based on Paimon's description, I do believe I hear it every day. Please follow me.
Oh, really? Great, let's go!
Why do I have a feeling she's gonna lead us either to one of the bosses or like straight into, you know, a monster place? Like straight into a Killer Shell camp or something.
The wind rises.
That is the only thing I can imagine right now.
Quit following me.
Yep.
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Shenhe, I think you don't know what music is, lady. My condolences, Paimon.
Oh, Paimon hasn't gone deaf after all. Paimon heard you when you just spoke. Anyway, where is this music?
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds. Are they not the music of which you speak?
Just how dumb are Paimon? Like, legit. And we apparently, since we just followed her. She just asked him, what is music? And Paimon gave a horrible definition. And what do? We get the wrong thing. Why am I not surprised?
Oh!
Paimon
wasn't quite done with the description. Okay, fine. It's all Paimon's fault.
Thank you.
What we're looking for are not the sounds of nature, but melodies played on special instruments.
I can just bring out the lyre,
and a melody is?
Go on, Paimon. That's a nursery rhyme. Go on, you can sing.
Huh?
I'm just gonna get a fucking whoopee flower again.
Sing that one melody Shen has heard before. It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
Fingers crossed this won't distract dead whoopee flowers. I mean, that's fair, because they tend to come along rather quickly. That's humming.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yunjin sang?
That was a melody, and melodies can be called music.
It felt like I was transported back to the past. In my mind's eye, I could see the Zhao lanterns lighting up the night sky again.
You will soon if you just go down.
We're all there, raising our glasses and drinking to our heart's content on the Jade Chamber.
Yeah, because alcohol
As I
fixes
watched
everything.
Yunjin's performance, I felt a warm sensation in my heart. And as the drink reached my stomach, it went from warm to hot. When you hummed that melody just now, feelings from a whole year ago came right back to me, as strong as they were on that day. So that's the power of music.
Matter of a year, that quest is a year ago.
That was so deep! Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like a time capsule with all the special moments from our lives squished inside. What about you, Ganyu? Are there any melodies that have left a deep impression on you?
I don't remember if my parents ever sang any lullabies to me. I know some local folk songs, and a few other things come to mind too.
Like
The songs of the sailors down at the docks. The little ditties that the vendors call out in front of their beloved shops. The tunes of folk artists performing on the streets.
Well, the sounds of Liyue Harbor.
Yes, that's right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of those tunes, I always felt that they were worlds apart from me.
Why do we never
Many
just
in
ask
Liyue
Changli?
probably view me as a
he's the
non-human.
easiest to find.
And they are
He knows
right,
everything.
in the sense that I never could connect with
you
humans'
know,
artistic
that
expression
I
and their
would just
sentiments. So
meet
I
these
haven't been able to
requirements.
integrate into their community and be a part of their lives.
No? Okay.
At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to realize that the only barriers are ones that I have erected with my imagination. The way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details of everyday existence. Life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows. Even though we come from different backgrounds and have different stories to tell, when it comes down to the most common things that we see and experience around us each day in the city, in that sense, we're all the same.
You go, Ganyu! You're really making progress. You have loads of friends in Liyue Harbor when you think about it. Like, okay, maybe some are more like coworkers and bosses. But at
Fair
the
enough.
very least, Kuching and Shenha are your friends now, right?
Yes, I am. Technically speaking, we should refer to each other by the conventional forms of address used among fellow disciples. But now that I know what constitutes a friendship, I do believe we are more friends than co-disciples.
Thank you, everyone.
And we are completely off track.
Once the days are warmer, I would like to host you at my home in the city. Please invite Kuching as well. I've planted
you ever
many
met
types of
Kuching,
flowers.
honestly?
I'm sure some of them will be to your taste.
You are too kind. I couldn't possibly.
Why can't why can I see that once Ganyu and Kuching gets to Shenhe's place, Kuching just see Ganyu and Shenhe standing on all for eating out of eating plants, like out of a pot, and she just stands there. Like, this is not what I expected to be a dinner.
Nonsense.
That just would have
You
been
are my
hilarious
friend.
to see.
I have cultivated and cared for the flowers just as you taught me. Once you've seen them for yourself, I am sure you can advise me how to do an even better job next time. I will save some for decoration. We can feast on the rest. Then, thank you in advance. Wait, what is that saying again? If you insist?
Congratulations, you're both now grown.
Do people say that? I'm not completely sure either.
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating flowers? Really? Does this have anything to do with you both being the disciples of that illuminated bird?
Why did she sound so frustrated about it? That illuminated bird. That Kuching will be munching on any flowers. Like I said, she would just look confused. Maybe Cloud Retainer will, show up.
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Good girl.
Master. Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Double humph.
It has her moments.
Now she has the gall to use it rather than she. Even after being chastised once already? Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. Very well. If you refuse to learn your lesson, one shall scold you no further.
They're gonna do nothing
One
about
has
it.
received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the Adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity.
Good. Now speak,
well,
birdie.
Shall one lead the way?
Yes, please, Cloud Retainer.
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dishes.
Happy Lantern Rite, Shenhe.
If you want to release a Shao Lantern, come and find us anytime. Thank you, everyone. Happy Lantern Rite to you too.
We need more Shenhe content. Shenhe. I classified this as a banger. 10 out of 10. Best song ever. Banger. Play it. About Kuching.
Is this Quaily Plains? Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you ever heard of her?
I have definitely heard it.
Guizhong is another name of Agentis, the god of dust. She was extroverted in nature and adored social gatherings and inventions alike. Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited her friends to visit her home, reserving for us seats around the largest stone table. Sea Gazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite the braggart. Though usually a mild-mannered fellow, when it came to those collectibles he was so fond of, he always loved to show them off.
Who doesn't?
Paimon remembers that name. So that's what Sea Gazer was like.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories of him.
You should have, since you knew him so long.
Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations.
So it became a contest.
As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. As a result, one often quarreled with Sea Gazer.
And you were too proud to say anything against
His treasures were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted by one's own hand?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred, Guizhong would come over to watch us during our mutual lambastics. On some occasions, she would join in, and on others, she'd take one of us by the limb and start uttering the most ridiculous nonsense.
What kind of nonsense?
No kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue between yourselves when neither of you could ever hope to beat me? Other times, she would make unsolicited suggestions, such as, once you two are done arguing, let's go to the foot of the mountain and grill some meat.
I like Guizhong.
She always sought to make everyone happy, and one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense she said, one never felt bothered or offended.
It was never nonsense, it was beautiful.
It also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or ladybird.
Come on, get over yourself!
Paimon has a serious
Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments would reach the apex of acrimony, Marchosius would bring his delectable dishes to the table. Who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of him, we would all immediately drop the argument and prepare the table for a night of feasting and drinking.
Good faces, everything. Good to know.
Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup?
Square cup. I don't think it would be a problem, but just something in my mind said something is wrong. Something doesn't fit there. That sounds annoying.
Precisely. So, as you can see, even one as great as Rex Lapis was not immune to making the occasional blunder.
No, surely no.
Even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. As we ate, Guizhong would continue to find topics for conversation, filling the table with humor and laughter. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we always had a marvelous time?
Old fossils.
We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode.
Streetwood Rambler.
The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then. Entire fields of them would appear to the eye as a veritable sea of flowers.
Streetwood Rambler.
Streetwood Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that Adeptus from Mr. Dvorak's story? Or are you saying that it was Guizhong? Didn't she, already,
That I'm married?
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. The sights here are a reminder of a time long gone, and evoke much sorrow. One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your incessant questioning.
This means some question. Calm down,
No matter. One will share the whole story with you now.
Is that one okay?
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics.
Hold on, did Guizhong die at the beginning of the Archon War? I thought she died at the end of it. Because it sounded like the Guili Assembly was created before the Archon War. I thought she died in the middle of it, or at the end of it. Maybe I'm wrong, apparently, but I thought she always died at the end of it. Like that was the end for the Archon War. I always thought that her end was the end of the Archon War for Zhongli. Apparently not.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them.
Maybe
one is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty beauty when she was young or something.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins, since the right time had not yet come. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision.
Yeah, retire in the
After
most
all,
dramatic way.
We all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not see that one coming.
Enough of your intrusions. Where was one up to? Ah, yes. One remembers now.
Why is this Lantern Rite so sad? Comparison to last year's. I didn't play the year before that. Like, I didn't play during the first Lantern Rite, but I played last year's. Why is this one so sad? Great job.
The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator, it was used on numerous occasions during rites of parting. But Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No. Each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious composition? Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhong passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once.
Are we gonna get her to play the tune again?
Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetward Rambler.
Man, I thought it was Guizhong.
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked why she would retire the tune after having spent so long on it. In response, she said, "Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?"
Aw, poor Madame Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few times, I never knew anything of this particular story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Her manuscripts still lie unfinished in the realm of clouds. Blank pages give one cause for contemplation on what might have been. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories too would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetwood Rambler. Do you intend to discuss this with her?
You should ask her and let her know. Maybe
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are usually careful to avoid.
Well, do you see her in Cloud Retainer this much compassion?
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it be that this is just your own personal opinion?
Oh? How so?
I've been in Liyue Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many farewells along the way, so I too am well acquainted with the pain of the passing of a loved one. But this doesn't bring the city or its people to a standstill. They have to keep moving forward. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand and embrace this. Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone, but there is always much that can still be gained. Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand become her friends. People she can admire flowers and discuss music with. Though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit, life goes on, because there are new friends waiting for you further down the road.
That is right, though. Because how old is Madame Ping anyway? I am asking too many questions and I have no answers. It's a game theory.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's Lantern Rite.
Yeah, we did. She was okay
when we
with
get
it.
back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform? Maybe we can even get her up on stage.
I don't think so.
You youngsters and your imaginations.
Maybe we'll get...
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and Liyue Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
Is not every Lantern Rite the same in this regard? Were there ever anything new to discuss? One in Ping could mean any day of the year.
Yet you never
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before. How long will you simply let them pass you by?
If nothing else, do it for Ganyu.
The edibles she brought this time were indeed quite delectable. Very well.
Food fixes everything.
Then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back to the harbor as well. We don't want to keep her waiting. Once the Guili Assembly, now the Guili Plains. Say, if we planted flowers there and cared for them carefully enough, do you think that one day we'd be able to recreate the sea of glaze lilies?
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are still far too given to flights of fancy, child.
Didn't you leave?
What? Cloud Retainer? You were still listening?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time, one is departing in earnest.
Right now, I have a feeling she's coming back the third time. I keep forgetting where you are.
Whoa! Madame Ping? And Cloud Retainer?
We literally
It appears you made haste after all. One arrived but moments before you.
Oh, bless my soul. To what do I owe the honor? How nice of you all to come and visit me.
Miss Illuminated Bird, haven't you said anything yet?
Said what, precisely? And why should one be tasked with saying it?
Fair enough, it's kind of our fault.
Because you're the one who's known Madame Ping the longest.
But Why is this
street word. Or rather, presumably, you would prefer to be addressed as Ping?
Oh, Cloud Retainer, you are uncommonly polite today.
One,
Even Cloud Retainer.
Given that Lantern Rite is almost upon us, the weather in the city is most pleasant, and a sweet floral fragrance lingers in the air. Ganyu, please continue from here.
I don't know what to say. Ganyu.
Huh?
Is Ganyu gonna tell us to do it?
Alright. So, this all started because we were trying to help Mr. Dvorak find the Adeptus who saved his ancestor's life. Cloud Retainer informed us that the one who played that melody and rescued the drowning man was none other than yourself.
Ah, let me think. Yes, I do believe I recall that encounter. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised that you still remember it. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief.
Fair enough. In a matter of centuries.
It appears that she has proven herself right once again.
Who's she?
Guizhong.
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all about her.
Albeit reluctantly, one might add.
You told us to go somewhere. I told her.
There is no harm done. After all, Lantern Rite's very purpose is to commemorate the heroes who gave their lives for Liyue. Although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today, she was as much a hero as any other.
I'm curious to how
has she proven herself right again exactly?
I wonder how different Leo would have been if Zhongli was the one to die and not Guizhong. Like, switched up places for those two.
Once upon a time, she said to me that humans were a weak form of life that she wished to protect with her wisdom. But as she interacted more and more with them, her opinions on them began to change. She marveled at the beautiful complexity of their spirits, the sheer splendor of all they could accomplish through their hard work and intelligence. She told us that to underestimate human potential would be to make a grave mistake. With the smallest amount of guidance, enormous power can be unleashed in them, and a human who has reached their full potential may well be her equal. Someone who could have as much to teach an Adeptus as to learn from them.
She always had a way with words. That her mechanical accomplishments were judged superior to one's own was, one suspects, in large part due to her sheer eloquence.
Speaking of mechanics, Cloud Retainer, do you still remember that potted plant mechanism? The one that the two of you gave me as a gift?
Of course. Guizhong and one both put an immense amount of effort into that gift. It would be no overstatement to call it a testament to each of our individual technical genius.
Talk about tooting her own horn here.
As Guizhong once said, it takes every blade of grass and every flower to make a homeland. When I see the sight of Liyue Harbor before us today, I am reminded of this.
Madame Ping looks very emotional right now.
Well, she's been through a lot in her time.
Of all of us, it was Guizhong who was the fondest of these grand and exciting occasions. If she were still with us, I'm quite sure she would still be trying to best Cloud Retainer's finest works at every opportunity.
Liyue Harbor is always filled with the sound of music at this time of the year. If she were here, one is certain that she would seek you out to discuss and debate the virtues of various melodies.
Everybody's
Yeah,
committed.
music! We've been dying to ask. What was the melody that you played back then? Oh, also, with you being such a music expert and all, why don't you join the concert as a performer?
Calm down, Paimon.
I can make arrangements right away.
Oh. As much as I don't wish to dampen your enthusiasm, it's been a long time since I played this zither. My fingers don't have the dexterity they once did.
Okay,
and
we're gonna have to play it.
Whenever I play that tune, it always reminds me of her. I start wondering what she would think of the changes I have made to her melody. There was a period of time whenever I started strumming, it almost felt like she was back again. Sitting right there on the stone stool next to me, chatting away. Skybracer and Seagazer too. Looking just like they did in the old days. No matter how much time goes by, the moment that melody starts playing, it transports me right back to that time in my memory.
So the past still weighs heavily on your heart?
Of course it would.
I would be lying to myself if I claimed to have completely moved on. But that is not to say that grief doesn't get easier with time. Despite the sadness, I have found many things that bring me joy in life. It is simply the nature of the world in which we live that even if one wished to mourn for an eternity, it would be a nigh impossible feat. Just look at this potted plant. Isn't it stunning?
It takes an honest and open mind to confront and conquer grief. You have indeed made progress.
No one but you had to accept it, whether you like it or not.
Be that as it may, I shall leave the lantern rite stage to the youth of today.
Well, if you're sure.
Granny!
Yanfei!
Whoa,
My favorite
what's
lawyer.
everyone doing here? Did something bad happen?
Ah, and now we've spooked Yanfei. No. Everyone's just here to give me their regards for the holiday.
Oh, that's wonderful, I'm glad.
You should be.
Well, in that case, happy Lantern Rite, everyone.
Happy Lantern Ride, Yanfei.
Happy Lantern Rite. Oh, I just remembered that I have some work to do at Yuehai Pavilion that I need to discuss with Yanfei. I haven't been able to find a chance until now. I will leave Mr. Dvorak in your capable hands. Cloud Retainer, Ping, we will be off for now.
Huh? Does it have to be right now? Which case is this again? Hey, Ganyu!
That's one way to get them to leave.
It seems Ganyu still has much to learn when it comes to the art of deception.
It works.
What a pity. She has learned nothing of one's ability to carry a conversation.
You look so done with Cloud Retainer.
Since it's been so long, Cloud Retainer, why don't you stay? I'll make a cup of tea and we can chat a while.
Gladly. This was one's intention as well.
When you next see the Fontaine musician, please give him my regards. I'd like to wish him the very best with the concert.
You got it, Madam Ping.
Thank you all. I think you've listened to enough of my nattering for one day. As for that melody, I will play it for you all another time. Goodness knows I need to practice it first.
Wow, that'd be great. We'll look forward to it.
It's probably next year. Madam Ping's story
When
quest.
the time comes, wherever her spirit may be among the countless grains of sand and specks of dust between the harbor and the mountains, perhaps she will look at the Liyue of today and steal a smile when she sees the prosperous land that it has become.
All right, let's go tell Mr. Dvorak the news.
This has been so sad. No. The guy with the name I can't pronounce. We need to talk. Dvorak. I did it. I said the name. Hail me. Ka-ching, my beloved. Hey girl. Fizz?
Mr. Dvorak! Ah, and Kuching's here too! Thanks for helping set all of this up.
Welcome back. Did everything go well?
Really, really well. We found the person Mr. Dvorak was looking for.
Wait, what?
Are you serious? I see. So the melody my ancestor heard was an adeptus remembering her late friend?
Yep.
That certainly explains why it was such a powerful and poignant tune.
Huh. That's a really interesting first reaction. Guess that comes with having a musical mind.
You think nothing
I have to say, though, it's hard to believe that the fairy from the tale is now an elderly granny.
Oh, Paimon knows exactly what you mean. Normally, Adepti don't age at all. But Streetward Rambler, or Madame Ping as we know her, probably only became old because it's what she wanted for herself.
Madame Ping possesses vast knowledge and great wisdom. Whatever physical form she may decide to take, her mind and wits are as sharp as they come.
Yep, Kuching summed it up perfectly. That's exactly what Paimon was trying to say.
And failed at it.
I think... yes. I must thank her in person. That can wait until after the concert, though. For now, I need to devote all my emotional energy to the performance.
Ah, speaking of, Madame Ping wishes you all the best at the music festival. Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that she'll stay in her usual spot, but listen to the performances from afar.
Wait, are you serious? Oh no, now I'm starting to get nervous.
Relax.
Okay, alright. Nope, another rehearsal is in order. Please excuse me, everyone.
I can stress again.
Mr. Dvorak? He's already gone. Paimon wasn't even finished telling him everything. Before we set off on our search with Ganyu, he asked us about what music means to people. After our recent adventure, Paimon thinks we have a lot more to say about that now.
Fair.
Please, share your insights with me.
Question.
Well, we found out that music can be used for good, but also for bad. It can make people happy and moved, but it can also be sad and bittersweet. And music is like a kind of memory written in people's hearts. It can put you in touch with feelings from a totally different time and place.
Pretty much, though, there's more to it than that.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip. Don't worry, I'm sure Ganyu will fill me in on all the details shortly.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna carry on working?
Mm-hmm. Just a few things to wrap up. All the groundwork is done. As long as everyone enjoys the festival activities, all our efforts are worthwhile.
Preach. Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite to you as well.
Kuching. Kuching we trust.
That should be everything taken care of, right? Oh, no, wait. Paimon feels like she's forgetting something. What was it? Oh, it feels like it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Shoot! Latent... Wait, no. Anyway, fancy bamboo shoots! Zhangli said he wasn't in a hurry, so if we went now, there's probably still time, right?
Yeah, we kind of did forget about that one.
Even if we don't make it, it's not our fault. He could have totally picked them by himself.
He probably did.
Anyway, let's go check with him at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
To Wangsheng we go. Hutao! I need a dark humor for this one. Like, having these in the middle of the stairs, I would have been tripping. Walk down the stairs, broken leg. It's a hazard. Right here. Yunjin and Xiang. Not Xiangling. Xinyan.
Mm-hmm. Da-da, 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 da-da.
What?
Da-da-da. Oh.
All right, let's take a break here.
Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor? In broad daylight? Okay.
Wow.
After everything we've been through, you don't see me for a hot minute, and you're back to being scared of your own shadow. We have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front. Not to mention we have several invisible audience members enthusiastically cheering us on. It's the perfect spot to rehearse.
Fair.
Invisible audience members?
Gotta say, it took me a few days to get used to Director Who's way of talking.
Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog, but a giant frog with sharp teeth.
Come on, knock it off.
That would have been really, really terrifying.
What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. Well, don't worry, because Director Who's here to explain it all. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. He came door to door for his iridescence tour, looking for acts to audition. With my words, Xinyan's chords, and Yunjin as our mentor, we'll take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
Heck yeah.
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore! Oh, now Paimon's rhyming along. But when you say flames roaring, are you sure this'll be safe?
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage, and I've already informed the Yuhong of all the pyrotechnics we're planning on using.
Huh. Guess we'll just have to trust Xinyan on this one.
I've seen Zhongli.
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy meal boxes and set off for the mountains. Said he wanted to pay a visit to some old friends.
It's a real pity that he couldn't be around for this. As well as being a true connoisseur of traditional art forms, he's able to appreciate Xinyan's performances too.
Yeah, that's right. Matter of fact, he was the one who first invited me to perform here. To tell the truth, though, I never thought I'd really find myself rehearsing here one day.
Well, now you know. The Longsheng Funeral Parlor is a great location. All of you are always welcome to come and hang out here, especially if you're in the mood to try something new.
I can speak to that. Hu Tao is always full of fun surprises.
And jump scares.
So happy.
Actually, Xinyan, I have some lyric ideas for your part. Do you want to go through them together?
Oh, sure thing. I'm all ears.
Oh, Traveler in Paimon, I believe Zhongli was heading to Mount Hulao, so make sure you're hiking up the right hill.
There are a lot of hills.
When you see Zhongli, please pass on this message to him. It's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. No excuses. You should join us too. It'll be a riot. If there's one thing I've learned from being a funeral director, it's how to throw a party.
I guess that's fair, honestly. It would be fair to know how to throw a party. We miss him again.
Paimon sees them! It's illuminated deer! And illuminated bird number 2!
But she's not even trying. Greetings everyone, long time no see.
A familiar face. Have you come from Liyue Harbor? How is the city nowadays?
It's fine.
Everything's great! But you know, if you're so curious, you can always go and check it out for yourself.
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount Tianheng in recent times. I believe the sights of the city are quite familiar to him.
Zhongli! Here you are! We've brought the bamboo shoots you wanted.
Yeah, like a week ago.
Impeccable timing.
one of them like a week ago, but cooking sleep.
Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to hasten the process is something of a shortcut.
May have a problem with the fact that grass is growing through it.
Is that?
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her supreme cuisine machine.
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? Actually, never mind. She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmos, so it's probably best if Paimon doesn't go changing the name willy-nilly.
I trust that you found the answers you were seeking during your recent journey.
Is he now talking about the Archon quest, or... Yes, sure.
Excellent. The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. Our journey should be seen as a means to take on more from the world around us. When the bamboo shoot soup is ready, I must insist that you try some for yourself.
Of course.
Oh, Zhongli! Hutao told us to tell you something. She said, it's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. No excuses! When she says performance, she must mean the Lantern Rite Music Festival. As for the banquet, she didn't tell us anything more about that, but she invited us to come as well.
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. Please, give Director Hu my best wishes for the performance.
You're telling
As
us
for
to
the
stay, and you're
banquet,
telling us to leave.
Since the Director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
I refuse to believe Hutao doesn't know that he's a god.
Absolutely.
If not, I think...
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Thank you.
If he's not coming,
I will
think
examine
that
it
Hutao
right
will
away.
come up and up, like, get down here.
The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich and intense. The craftsmanship of this machine is commendable indeed. Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup. It tastes most exquisite while still warm.
Can I go now? Thank you. Let me leave.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is Hutao, and this is a little something called...
The Blaze Lilies!
I'm up here blazing trails through the midnight sky, lighting up the world below. And when the crowds all hear my voice, they'll meet the spirit of rock and roll.
Let's go! Hey, you butterfly, you too buzzing by, guiding your way to the afterlife, opening the path without a fright. Oh, I'll light the fire, watch it blaze across the universe. I'll spit my rhymes, watch you set, or you'll get burned. Hey, woo!
It is kind of sad that we haven't gotten to see anyone else.
Does anyone have any plans tomorrow? With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
The Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
Yo, I'm gonna work again. I should play a cool character one. Lantern Rite is always so pretty.
Master, listen!
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Master, the Shao Lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Shao Lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor to display its magnificence for all.
Of course you take that personal. Who is he playing? Telling to play?
Listen! That must be Madame Ping!
So she didn't play it after all. Now is he people a single harmony for irreplaceable souls. This took a lot longer than I expected it to, honestly. But I'm finally done with the Lantern Rite quests. I think I'll say goodnight for now, so see ya.